Hello everyone. So friends, in our previous lecture we saw that how we can resize an array through an animation. Now in this lecture we'll code the algorithm and we'll see it's working inside this main method. So in our array util class, here I will be creating one method as public void, and I will give the name to this method as resize. Now as we discussed in our previous lecture, this resize method will take the array which we want to resize and it will take the capacity to which we want to resize. So this is nothing but an integer value. So what happens here is, let's say our array has size 4 and we want to resize it to 8, 10, 16 or whatever value we want. We simply pass it here. So in the first step what we do is, as we have already created this array of a particular size, we can't directly resize this array to this capacity. So what we do is, we first create a temporary array having the sizes, the capacity we provide. Now after creating this temporary array, what we do is, we simply copy all the elements of this array to this temporary array. So in order to copy all the elements of our original array to this temporary array, what we do is, we simply provide a for loop, and inside this for loop we simply iterate each and every element of our original array. So here you can see this for loop will iterate with a value of I as 0 and it will go till the length of our original array -1, and inside this for loop what we'll do, we'll simply assign the value stored at ith index of our original array to our temporary array at ith index. So when this line will execute, what it will do is, it will go to our original array, it will take the value from the ith index, and then it will go to our temporary array to ith index and simply copy the value from our original array from the ith index to the temporary array at ith index. So this copy will go from the 0th index and it will go to the last index of our original array, which is array.length -1 index. So after we copy each and every element from our original array to this temporary array, what we do is, at the last step we simply assign the value stored in the temporary array to our original array. So when this line will execute, the temporary array which we created here, which was pointed by this temp variable, now our original array variable will point to this temporary array which has capacity of what we have provided here. So after this method gets executed, the original array has been resized to this capacity, because at the last step we are simply assigning the value stored at the temporary variable to the array variable. So initially this temp pointed to an array in an heap which had this capacity. Now what it means is, our array will point to this array in heap. So friends, this piece of code simply resizes the array. So let's see the demonstration of it. I'll just copy this array initialization and I'll just comment this print array call. Here we'll create an array, we'll give it a name as original, and we'll simply paste this part here. So our original array has the size of storing 5 elements. So friend, let's say if we want to store more elements, so we can't store here. So then we have to resize this original array. So what we do is, here I'll simply provide a sysout, and here I simply print the size of original array, and let's say I provide a value as original dot length. So friends, if I run the code now, so here you can see it printed. The size of original array is 5. Now friend, as we want to resize it, what we do is we simply call the resize method. We pass in our original array, and let's say we want to resize this array to a capacity of, let's say, 10. So we pass the value of capacity as 10. So friends, after resizing the array, we'll simply print the size of original array after resize. Now what happens when I call this again? The size of the original array after resize, and I simply print original.length. So what it should print? It should print 5 or 10. So friends, here it looks that we have resized this original array to a capacity of, let's say, 10. We have even copied the contents. So we usually think that when we print original.length here, it should give the answer as 10. But if I run it, you will see that it gives answer as 5. Because though we have passed this original array here, but when this method gets terminated, this temporary array and everything will be garbage collected. And when our call will reach this point, the original array will be still pointing to this. So what we do here is we have to return this array from this method, and instead of void, we have to give return type of the integer array, so that here we can get this array as we are returning it from here, and we can store it in the original, and finally we can print the length of this original array. And here if I run the code now, you can see that now this original array is actually pointing to this resized array. So friends, this is one of the most smallest mistakes we usually make, because we know that Java is pass by value. So we are passing the value stored in the original array here. We are doing resize on this temporary array and this array variable, and if we are not returning it back, then this all will be garbage collected, and our original will be pointing to this array only. So here we are returning this array, we are storing it here. So now we have actually reassigned it to a different array by this line, and when we printed the length of this original array now, it gave the value as 10. And also friend, what we can do is here, instead of assigning it to array, we can even return something like this. Because we have copied the content of this array to this temporary array, so instead of assigning the value of this temporary variable to array variable, we can directly return something like this. And if I run the code now, you can see it again printed the size of the original array after resize is 10. So here now we have actually resized this original array. So friend, this method is used very frequently in many other data structures which involves the array internally. So friends, I hope you like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.